Hello, my name is Sachse. I'm a nutritional biochemistry major at Case Western Reserve University, and today we'll be making a quiche my style. Before we get started, make sure you're wearing your apron, and if you have long hair, you have that put up for safety purposes. Let's get started.
Before we start cooking, it's a great idea to wash your hands really well, and I'm going to go outside to my garden to collect some fresh ingredients, including these cherry tomatoes, as well as oregano, which has very small leaves, and green onions, which are these thick stalks. Before we use these, we want to make sure you wash them really well and wash your hands again for safety purposes. To make the dough for the crust, you mix together a cup of flour with half a teaspoon of salt. Then I use ice cold water mixed with olive oil instead of butter to keep some saturated fat out of the recipe, since high levels of saturated fat consumption can be associated with decreased heart health. When you stir this mixture, you know it's ready when the oil and water mixture are thickened. Olive oil is associated with reduced inflammation and improved cholesterol, making this butter crust alternative a healthier choice overall. Once thickened, you add the oil-water mixture to the flour and salt and stir until it's a consistent texture. Then you want to spread it onto a lightly oiled pie tin in a thin, even layer. Here, I'm just making sure that everything is perfectly smoothed out. Next, we'll get into preparing the body of the quiche, starting with cutting the green onions into thin strips. Since I have fresh oregano, I cut the leaves off and am mincing them into smaller bits. You could also just use half a teaspoon of dry store-bought oregano. Here I'm slicing my cherry tomatoes. I love the burst of flavor and texture they add when cooked. Cooking tomatoes also increases the lycopene bioavailability, which may impact cancer or cardiovascular disease risk. My recipe calls for 1/3 of an onion diced. Onions not only add a rich savory taste, but they're also packed with nutrients, including vitamin C, which boosts immune health, collagen production, tissue repair, and iron absorption. It also acts as an antioxidant, preventing oxidative stress or damage to cells in the body. Onions also contain vitamins folate and B6, which are key to metabolism, red blood cell production, and nerve function. Here I'm cleaning and pressing 5 cloves of garlic to add to the recipe, which come from the same family as onions, the allium spices. In a non-stick pan, I added a small amount of olive oil and raised the heat to medium. I added a 3/4 cup of ham that I had previously diced as a source of protein and B vitamins. Then I added the onions to the pan to start to caramelize them before baking them in the quiche. A little bit later, I added the garlic and green onions to the mixture to bring out their flavor more. I added a cup of frozen chopped spinach to add to the body and texture of the quiche, but it's also a great source of vitamins A, C, and K, magnesium, iron, and manganese, which all contribute to a large number of health benefits. My recipe calls for 4 eggs, which are a great source of total protein, meaning they contain all the vital amino acids human needs to function. I mix these well using a whisk. Then I'm mixing in 1 3/4 cups of half and half, as well as salt, pepper, turmeric, and my favorite spice, thyme. Turmeric adds a slightly earthy note, while thyme adds a gentle, almost lemony twist. We're finally ready to combine everything. First, I added half a cup of grated Gruyere cheese to the bottom, then added spinach, ham, onion, garlic, and tomato mix, topped that with another half cup of cheese, and flooded everything with the eggs and cream mixture. Next, I set my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it was preheated, I carefully pushed my quiche in to bake. I set my timer to 30 minutes initially to check on the quiche, but it ended up taking 45 minutes to finish baking. Once we've taken it out of the oven, it's time to enjoy our new creation.
So I'm going to go ahead and try it and see if this actually turned out how we wanted it to. Wow, yeah, this is delicious. Definitely worth a try.